Have you ever read the Declaration of Independence or the Constitution of the United States? Did you know that the first 10 amendments were ratified December 15, 1791, and are now known as the Bill of Rights? The First Amendment states, Congress shall make no law respecting establishment of religion or prohibiting the exercise thereof, or abridging the freedom of speech or press, or the people to peaceably assemble and to petition the government for redress of grievances. Now let's explore the Constitution of the United States and Declaration of Independence a little further. As I stated, Congress shall make no law establishing religion. This is typically interpreted to mean separation of church and state. However, the words church, separation of church and state are not in the First Amendment. Congress shall make no law to establish religion. However, that does not mean that we, the people, don't have the right to pray or have freedom of speech or religion in school or public places. That the right of ours is in the First Amendment. It states that we are not prohibited to exercise thereof, and we are allowed freedom of speech as well. In the Declaration, there is a passage that states, we hold the truth to be self-evident, that all men are created equal, that they are endowed by their Creator with certain unalienable rights. These unalienable rights are rights that cannot be altered by law. Some of these rights are our freedom of speech, which means our right to pray in school or in public. Prayer has been used by presidents and early leaders throughout history. For example, in Article 3 of the Northwest Treaty of 1787, religion, morality, and knowledge being necessary to good government and the happiness of mankind, schools and the means of education shall forever be encouraged. Also, according to the National Archive, President Washington made a Thanksgiving proclamation in October 3rd, 1789, which went as, whereas it is the duty of all nations to acknowledge the providence of Almighty God, to obey His will, to be grateful for His benefits, and humbly implore His protection and favor. And whereas both houses of Congress have, by their joint committee, requested me to recommend to the people of the United States a day of public thanksgiving and prayer. Also, another example, on June 28, 1787, as the First Continental Convention was coming to, there was a lot of controversy as well as debate, and it was very deadlocked. So Benjamin Franklin stood up and pleaded with the delegates. He stated, in the beginning of the contest with Great Britain, when we were sensible to danger, we had daily prayer in this room for divine protection. Our prayers, sir, were heard, and they were graciously answered. And have we now forgotten that powerful friend? Or do we imagine we no longer need his assistance? I therefore beg leave to move that henceforth prayer imploring the assistance of heaven and its blessings on our deliberations be held in this assembly every morning before we proceed to business, and that one or more of the clergy of this city be requested to officiate in that service. As you see, prayer was used throughout history. As well as one of our founding fathers, Samuel Adams, wrote a letter to John Adams in 1790, and this is how it went. Let divines and philosophers, statesmen and patriots unite their endeavors to renovate the age by impressing the minds of men with the importance of educating their little boys and girls. inculcating in the minds of youth and fear and love and deity, and leading them in the study and practice of the exalted virtues of the Christian system. As you can see, our founding fathers did not want us to not have prayer in school. Prayer in school would instill values and morals, as well as give us right and wrong. But in 1962, standard prayer was removed from the school. Since then, there has been increased hatred for religion. As well, by a year later, teen pregnancies went from 5,000 to 27,000. By 1994, it went up 400%. As well as in 1994, violent crime went up by 600%. Prayer will help students realize their power. There is a power greater than they are. It will help them rely on God instead of turning to drugs, alcohol, sex, and violence in their time of need. I implore you to look at the Declaration of Independence and the Constitution of the United States, as our founding fathers did not mean for this to mean to not allow us to pray in school. They believed in God and prayer throughout all aspects of life. They wanted us to have the freedom to pray, whether it's in school, public, or home, private life. It should be obvious that removing prayer from school has set our society in a tailspin of immoral behavior. Therefore, standing to reason, bringing back prayer in school will only enhance the moral values and the well-being of our future leaders. Thank you and have a wonderful day.